Hello, scumbags. Welcome to a very off-the-cuff Unleashed. And I'm saying off-the-cuff because you know what happens when San Diego Comic-Con happens? Is stuff just gets dropped in your lap and you got to do something about it, like what happened today. Oh boy, where do we start? Okay, so I was under the assumption, maybe I'm just a crazy old coot, but I was under the assumption that Star Wars was not going to have a presence at SDCC 2018. I thought, you know, they're saving it for Celebration. That's fine. That's cool. That's their territory. Let them duke it out. Whatever. But it turns out, nah, they had a little bit of a thing going on here at SDCC, and they just dropped on us the bombshell news that we are getting Clone Wars Season 7. I honestly have no idea what to say at this point. I thought that story was done. I thought it was good. Like, we got 6 seasons that covered 3 years of story time. I think that's more than enough. But no, they're dropping another season on us. Now, I know Clone Wars was not finished. It was canceled before its time. But, I mean, really, we know how it ends. It ends with Revenge of the Sith. How does this work then? What is this season going to give us that the other 6 didn't? Is my big question. Now, we saw a trailer, and I gotta admit, that was a fantastic trailer, man. I had goosebumps. They used the music from the original Chewie We're Home Force Awakens trailer, and that music is gorgeous. And we got, you know, some shots of some clone trooper helmets and all that fun stuff, and then some clones in a base, and Anakin is there, and Obi-Wan is there. And they ended off with Ahsoka via hologram standing next to what looks like Sabine, or at least the Mandalorian like Sabine, communicating, reaching out to Anakin Skywalker, whom she has not spoken to since the finale of Season 5. This is all kinds of crazy, all right? This is raising so many questions, but like I said, for me, the big question is, what is Season 7 going to offer that the other seasons didn't have? Like, why is this piece of the story so important that they had to revive the show to bring it back? Now, I'm not knocking on the show. Oh, I love Clone Wars. Trust me, I do. I've got all 6 seasons there on DVD. We're doing the show, cloning around about it. I have no quarrel with the Clone Wars, all right? My question is, in everything that's been happening with new canon and stuff, what is the missing link between the end of Season 6 and Revenge of the Sith? What happens in that sweet spot that Lucasfilm deemed so important they needed to bring the show back to tell us? Now, from the looks of things, maybe it is this quasi-reunion going on between Anakin and Ahsoka. And I think this reunion was touched upon in the Ahsoka book. She brings up Darth Maul, she brings up him and this little meeting they had. I don't know if that's the case, if Ahsoka hangs out with Anakin again and they have one last hurrah together before they part ways and he becomes a Sith Lord. But that might be one of the things this season has to tell us that merits a revival. Another thing that might merit a revival is, remember, Darth Maul, we don't know how he ended up from big boss of the crime world to stranded on Malachor and wearing rags and trapped, essentially. This is your sweet spot. This is your place to tell that story. And if they don't tell that story, that is a huge missed opportunity, as far as I'm concerned. The Star Wars saga now, because we've got so much happening with so many different people in so many different time periods, it's now become a jigsaw puzzle. And for every character, they have their, you know, their length of puzzles all pieced together, but we're missing some pieces for everybody. I don't think there's anybody who we know their whole story yet. And for Darth Maul, his missing piece is what happens to him between the end of Clone Wars and the beginning of Rebels, where we meet him. This is our spot to fill in that missing piece. Now, obviously, Maul is still a crime lord when we meet him in Solo. So the time period doesn't quite gel, but it would be nice to see some more of him and maybe get an idea of what happened to him. But we can't tell the story of him and Kira being the Bonnie and Clyde of the Spaceways because that takes place once the Empire has been formed, and clearly we're not there yet. But if we at least get a taste of Maul, it can provide us with some kind of answer as to what may possibly happen to him further down the road. And once we get that story, whether it's probably going to be in comic form, I'd be cool with that. But however we get it, it'll make more sense having seen this. But apart from that, apart from the Darth Maul crime stuff and Ahsoka and Anakin possibly meeting once more, I really am puzzled. I don't know what this season could give us that makes its own existence worth the while. Obviously, I love Clone Wars. I'm going to watch it. But I'm so curious, why did story groups say we need to continue this? Out of everything they could tell, out of Luke hunting for relics, out of Lor Santeca helping him out of Old Republic, out of this, out of that, out of everything, what made story groups stop and say, let's look at this again? I think those theories are going to start popping out of the woodwork all over the place on YouTube, but I wanted to ask the question right now. So, scumbags, let us know, tell us what you think is the purpose of Clone Wars Season 7. Besides, you know, making money for Lucasfilm, because obviously that's going to happen. But what is the purpose, story-wise, of diving back into this well? What are we going to gain? What puzzle pieces are we going to collect once this season is all said and done? Chime in the comments. Give us your thoughts. All I know is I get to see General Grievous again. I hope. So this alone makes it worth the price of admission. But that has been Unleashed. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. I will see you here eventually. Who knows when I'm going to be on the show again, because I'm still not canon as far as they know. Until next time, may the force of others be with you.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebel Scum Podcast, for all the latest videos.